that. I don't trust it. With it. Yeah. Probably need to. Are they doing fine over here? Yeah, they're still pushing up a little bit. Get that. Could drop down into. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go to. I'll go to Xenotech. That's what I'll do. Go to Xeno and mess with TR. Or could go to Rebel. Yeah, let's do Xeno. Could go to Xeno. I could go up here. Could put one right here at right there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Right there. Maybe I should do something different. Oh, I know what I should do. Really smart to do that too. Avoidance. Yeah. pause it. Who the heck over there? Want to come? Hey, you want to run at me? Run at me? Ah, yeah, wow. Oh. Well, is it? Oh, you got sneaker here over there. Well, see. Oh, yeah. That's an idea. Let's see. Just to let you know. Oh, mic's way up here. Just to let you know that I don't really get very upset when people kill me, because planets say you always get killed at least once, and if you get too, like, really into it and you're trying to do something, that's when you get angry. But whenever you're just kind of like, oh, I could do this or could do that, then it's like, eh, so it happens, big deal. And that's pretty much most of the time. If you've listened to some of my clips, there's only certain days whenever I get really upset, but most of the time I'm just kind of like, oh, I'll get you. At worst I'll say the N word, but it isn't that I'm racist. It's that because I'm not. It's because it's the worst word I can think of. I mean, that's what everybody shouts out is the worst word they can think of, and that's the worst word. I would never use that in company. It's and I would never use it saying it to a black person for sure. Um, it's just it's my favorite, like, really really bad cuss word. And so, and if you want to know what my feelings are about race, at least in terms of colored people, is that I think the policemen often unnaturally target them for crimes. It has been this way for the last 50, 60 years, even 100 years. Probably ever since they've been enslaved. Um, I'm not saying that the current colored people are the children of slaves, but our culture has not changed much since then. And even if we freed them, they still get treated badly. And the police departments always pick them as criminals because police departments don't get funded well enough to do investigations. So it's so easy for them just to go out and get somebody that the public or whoever, the taxpayers in the area where they're at, white people, will be satisfied with. So they'll go after black people. The racism still exists. It's in the culture. And all you have to do is look at the people that play this game. If you talk about anything about racism or black, the only time they consider something racist is whenever you're talking about whites. But whenever you talk about blacks, they think, oh, yeah, right on. And that's a clue to you, especially in very hard times, the racism just comes out. Because in hard times, people will start targeting each other based on race. And the reason why, because they're fearful of losing work, and they'll point fingers and they'll say the reason why I don't have a job is because you, because you, because you, because you, and that all comes out of going through hard times. The good side of going through hard times is that if you're really down and out, you'll start befriending, and you'll be befriended by people of race, and it will stick, and you'll become much better at dealing with that aggression towards people you don't understand and or are not familiar with. That's all racism is. It's the fundamental childish response to people that you're unfamiliar with. Is the reason why, as children, you need to be more diverse. You need more diversity, because then the children are going to grow up and they're not going to understand or even be able to recognize the faces of people of other races, because the faces, the subtleties in the face help you recognize their faces, and if they all look the same, then you'll treat them all the same. See, if you get treated badly by a few, then you'll treat the other ones badly because you have this understanding that they're all bad. But the thing is that you can't recognize the faces very well, and that's because your brain hasn't adapted to recognizing the subtleties in faces of people of race. And so, anyhow, I'll just put this clip up.